Hello, welcome to the most beautiful views at the top of the mountain. We call it the Sandberg property. Overlooking the 5 and the 138. There's 20 acres with 2 ridge tops. The first ridge top has been leveled off, as you can see here. We have a camper and a campground area we use for hip camp. As you see, it's nice and cozy, fireplace, camping, nice teak table, outdoor benches and an outdoor bed. Through here, as a great view, we cut in a nice little bench area for sitting down in the shade and to see the views towards the western mountains. All of this land out here is part of the property. That's what we call Ridge 1. We're on Ridge 2 now. Now I'm going to walk you over to Ridge 1, since we're on Ridge 2 now. There was an old collapsed cabin on the property, and we've been slowly but surely pulling down all the wood. We got a storage box here for tools. This is where the old cabin was. Bunch of fencing. Back here we cut a road in, or I should say a trail in. Here's our water tank, hard to see. The views up through this little trail. And this is where the greenhouse is going to go. And we also have our first bee's nest. Beehive. And walking back out. So here's the road into the property, and we have it gated off, and here's our 1,500 gallon water tank, which is nice. This part's nice because we can gate off the top of Ridge 2. Okay, here's the entrance to Ridge 2, which we just walked through, and here's the road that comes up to the property. We're on the eastern border right now. As you can see, I've got it fenced off this direction so that Ridge 2 is fenced off. And then right down here, we're working on cutting it into Ridge 1, which I will show you shortly. Okay, here's where you come up onto the road. We're about 200 feet into the property now. And this is where it's nice and level enough to get up to the top of Ridge 1, where you can see we're already starting to cut in where the road will go to get up to Ridge 1, which definitely has the best panoramic views, which you'll see shortly. Okay, now I'm in the middle, roughly, of Ridge 1, looking over towards Ridge 2. You can see our camper right there slightly. And Ridge 1 has two really good flattish parts. There's this whole section right here, which runs out right out to the edge of the mountain where it runs down. And then there's another one, which I'll take you back to above me, where I'm cutting in the road. But I took you this direction because I wanted to show you how far the property goes over the side of the mountain. So technically there's a third ridge right down there, and it's kind of hard to see, but if you see that really bright tree, light green, that's sticking out, that's a really good sign that there's water. Not to mention, all the way down that way, about 8 miles, is the lake. And that tree is very close to the bottom right-hand corner of the border, which would be southwest corner. And then it goes something like 660 feet this way, by another 1,200 and something all the way across to the other ridge. Oh, sorry about that. As you can see, the views here are pretty spectacular from the very top of the mountain. And right there at the base of the mountain, where the freeway comes down, the 5, over the pass, goes over towards Bakersfield, and south goes to Santa Clarita. That's where they're planning on building 40,000 homes, the Tejon Ranch development. Someday you're going to overlook a city. Here's another shot of Ridge 1 out towards the front of the cliff facing south. You can see it's a steep mountain, and then right there is what we're calling Ridge 3, right next to the tree that has water. There's another road that goes out that direction. We'll end up down by the lake. We cut these wonderful trails, which we call the maze, all around Ridge 1, so you can get around. This is kind of the trail that comes up to the top of the plateau, where we're going to build an open area for another campsite. But this is by far the best view area, 360 view. Just got to get up about 4 feet over the chaparral. So this is where I'm bringing the road in. And this is where it's really flat up at the top. We're going to open up this whole space. We own about another 200 feet that direction. About 400 feet that direction. And this trail comes into a nice natural opening. Which we'll end up using this opening and another one just around the bend. Take advantage of these trees for shade. Alright, this is the approach from coming in to Ridge 2, which has been leveled off and where we have the campsite set up. As you can see, there's quite a lot of space that's been opened up and leveled off. To the left is where that old cabin used to be. The sun rises over on the right here and makes for incredible 360-degree views on the top of this ridge. And that kind of concludes the tour.